What's good? What's good? What's good, family? A bit more light in here. What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are having a fantastic Wisdom Wednesday. Come on in, come on in. What's up? What's up? All right, so we're just waiting on Liz to come in. I hope this works, man. I may have to change this method up several times. Oh, there you go. Bring down on camera. I see you. I just sent you. Okay, there we go. Liz!
Hey,
How you
friend.
doing, bud?
We
What do you
made
think?
it.
I'm not gonna even lie. I love like public speaking and stuff, but I got nervous for this for some reason. I don't know why. I guess 'cause
Is this the first time that you've brought somebody into
yeah.
your
So
life?
I've only done that one time, and that's when it was with Mason early in. So
Yeah.
sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's why I was.
Hey, uncharted territories are always hard, especially when it comes to
That's true.
technology.
And the killing part is I've been working in IT for like almost 30 years, but it's getting so fast now, it's hard to keep up. So like every
Oh,
two
yeah,
years now, your current technology is old, you know. So
that's right. And everything works slow
exactly.
if you don't have the right
So
stuff.
you walk every morning?
Well, so usually I run 2 miles around our neighborhood every day, but today was just so pretty, and my mom also offered to keep my kids for one
Woo,
more
woo,
day.
woo.
So we have this really huge, I mean, just massive park, and there's a huge lake, and it's like 2.5 miles, and so I was like, well, I'll go out
Nice.
there. It was so
Yeah,
hot.
look, so you're in Tennessee, is that right?
Yes, like
Okay,
Memphis,
okay.
Tennessee.
Oh, that's where Kim, the admin in our group, Kim, she's from Memphis. Y'all might, yeah, y'all
Okay.
might need to hook up. I'll tag her in Facebook in the group.
Okay, yeah. Myra Black is the one who invited me
Okay,
to
and
this
she,
group, and she's here
yeah, I was
too.
gonna ask, like, how did you hear about Blended Lines? And look, man, this is not
It was
formal.
Myra.
Like, just like in my photography, I like natural shots. I don't like when people pose. And so with these talks,
Yeah,
it's a natural, like we just chopping it up. You know what I'm saying?
just
Yeah, but I love
candid.
the fact that you're organized because see, I have ADHD, so that's something I struggle with.
It's well, listen, I have not always been a planner. I used to cringe, but my husband is type A, analytical,
Uh,
logical. He wants plan A through like triple
yeah.
Z. And so I've had to sort of adjust, but I have found that there's actually so much freedom and
Yeah,
structure.
I agree with you on that. See, my wife is like your husband. And so I'm learning from her. And yeah, you're right. Like you
Yeah.
plan it
Yes.
out, it's so less stressful. Yeah,
Right. There, the anxiety is
right.
gone
Exactly.
because you know what you can know what to happen. Like when he doesn't have structure to a
Right.
day, he is
Right. Right.
grumpy and he needs a plan. He's like, I need a
See, and
plan.
that's what I love about people. Hold on, let me give my boy David a shout out. I don't want his feelings to be hurt. I see you out there, David. I'm gonna recognize you, man. Yeah, that's what I love about people, man, is that everybody's different. All right. So like your husband and my
Yeah.
wife, if they don't have structure through the day, they're like losing their mind. Whereas me,
Yes.
I lose my mind when I have structure. I just like to wing it and you know what I'm saying? Just do everything right then and there. But that's what's so beautiful about people, man. It's like what one person's strength is, is another person's weakness and vice versa. So
Yes, absolutely. My husband and I could not be
yeah,
more opposite,
I,
by the way.
right.
Like, it's amazing that we make it
Yeah.
work
Hey, same.
and that we haven't killed each other at this point
See, me and
because we are just like opposite
oh
ends of the
yeah,
spectrum.
me and my wife were like that, but we real cool. Like we were friends before we, got into a relationship. So we can,
Yeah, so
yeah,
were
it's
we.
so important. And so we can talk to
Yeah.
each other like she can tell me I'm getting on her nerves, but it don't bother me, you know. And I call
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
big head or something like that, and we don't get just how we love on each other.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to call each other
Yeah,
out a little bit.
absolutely, man. So let's just start with you told us how you got the blended lines, which is through Myra, which Myra, I appreciate you, fam. I graduated,
Yes.
went to school with her, so she's always been a good person. But just tell a little bit about yourself, like where you from, where you grew up.
Well, so I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised here. I did not leave and come back. I've just been here the
Okay.
whole time. Um, I am Jesus
Yeah,
follower first
me
and
too.
foremost, but I am a dedicated and loyal wife
Hmm.
second, and then I'm a stay-at-home mom to three crazy kids. But they they keep life extremely
Yes.
colorful. And I am also a certified personal trainer, and I really just try to help people just be
Hmm.
healthy, try to make good decisions because I have been on like a roller coaster journey
Yeah.
myself with personal health and fitness and my relationship with food and mindset about food and exercise. And so I'm just trying to help people, especially those who are new
Right.
to it, new to the journey, like just try to navigate because I think people so often get so frustrated and so feel so
Yeah.
ashamed that they can't get it
Right.
right out of the gate that they just
Right.
stop. And so and then as far as the racial reconciliation work, like I am
Mhm.
really new and real like I am
Yeah.
a newbie to this space, but could not be
Yeah.
more thrilled. A
Yeah.
little nervous because, this is uncharted territory for me, but I believe that God has put me in certain places at certain times, meeting certain people, having certain conversations for a
Right.
reason. And it would be a sin, literally, for me to turn my back
Right.
on that and be like, that's
Right.
messy. I'm not
Right.
doing it. So that is like Cliff's Notes
Cliff,
version
I like
of
Cliff Notes.
of you
I
see what I
saw
did
that.
there. You see what I did there. You see what I did
Dude,
there.
the
So,
plug for Cliff Notes. I love it.
but yeah, that's Liz in a nutshell.
Look, man, so I'm a Jesus follower too. Now, I always tell people that I talk to, like, I don't judge anybody, all right? Even if it's an atheist, like, I don't not like them. I don't hate them. I love them just like I love you. And I don't try to push
Right.
Jesus on people. It's just loving people is more important than me trying to, you know what I'm saying? Force
Oh yeah,
comfortable to them.
absolutely.
And I just try to live my life like the word says and just hope that they'll see how I live my life and say, okay, well, he's not one of those fake Christians because we both know there are a ton of them out there, right? Um,
Right.
but
Yeah.
see, just like with Mason, I was led to talk to you. So I reached out to Mason and I was like, bro, I don't know why, but the spirit is telling me like I need to talk to you. And he said, hey, I feel the same way. Like I'm getting the same feeling. So we talked on, I think Monday. And I don't know what day it'd be now working from home, but we talked.
We call it in our house, we call it Blur's Day.
Yeah, yeah. Like I literally don't know what day it'd
It's
be
just
until I like look at my.
it's just
It
Blur's
is.
Day.
It is. And after we talked on Monday, man, I mean, I just had goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps now, actually, because you just knew it was led by the Holy Spirit for us to connect. And we're going through similar things and we're learning from each other just like we do in the group. And the same with you. I just picked up a lot of positive energy in your post. So I think so I have several God-given gifts, as everybody does. One of them is the
Right.
ability to interact with people. Like if I never knew you, like I can be your best friend, and also I can read people. You know, I can like pick up positive and negative energy, you know, just by looking at somebody. And that's
Hmm.
why it's so important for me to get to see people in the group, because I do have a vision for the group and I want to really get close to the people who have a similar vision, which is to educate, you know, people of other races, have open discussions and
Right.
dialogue in a respectful manner, and just learn to love
Hmm.
each other's differences, right? And
Yeah.
so the people who have that vision, I want to get like personally close to, because I would love to have them involved, because I'm trying to take this blended lines way up here and God is in control. So I'm just doing what he tells me to do, right? But the health,
Right.
what I love about that, I heard you mention that, you know, you had kind of like your life was kind of like up and down. So, and I'm
Hmm.
not ashamed of this. I've shared it in the group many times. Like I literally had like a breakdown last year where I was severely depressed, anxiety. Food has always been an emotional thing for me. So it's like when I get depressed or
Hmm.
stressed, I run to food, particularly
Yeah.
sugar foods, you know, so I can get that
Hmm.
gratification. And just through a lot of like self-awareness, learning myself and reading stuff, you know, online about health and diet, I've learned to kind of control it, but it's almost like a drug, man. I mean, it's an addiction,
Yes,
and it gets hard.
it is.
Like I can tell you, my wife's friend, bro. Well, my wife's friend made a cake. All right, it was a strawberry cake. I don't even like strawberry, but she brought it home and I messed around and took one bite of it, which was the biggest mistake. And next thing you know, I ate like the whole freaking slice, right? So I just told my wife, like, look, can we just please keep it at the house? Because I literally,
You
yeah,
can't
I
have
don't
it.
have,
That's how my
yeah,
husband
yeah.
is.
So I know that now. And health is going to be a big thing in here because I'm an advocate for health, because having a healthy lifestyle is one of the things that brought me out of the depression and the anxiety. You know, what I did
Yeah.
when I went on leave from work, because I literally could not work because I was so depressed and full of so much anxiety, was I got into a routine of working out every day. All right. 7 in the morning, I was at the
Hmm.
gym, cardio, strength training. Then after,
You had a
yeah,
schedule.
and do you know how hard that was for me, man? It was so hard, but I said, you know, the Holy Spirit told me, like, you need to get on a schedule. You know, don't just lay around in the house all day. And my psychiatrist had already told me the two natural things for depression and anxiety is exercise and interacting with other
Hmm.
people. All right. And so when to just make this long story short, when I got my health in order, both strong physically and mentally, man, I
Hmm.
was unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. And I literally mean that, like nobody's gonna tear me down. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's gonna,
That's
and
right.
it's a thin line between confident and cocky,
Cocky.
right? Yeah. I've been cocky
That's right.
before, but look, man, I've been called worse, so I'm good with that.
Oh, and Myra just said
Oh,
hello to
what's up,
us. So we
girl?
got to say, hey, girl, welcome. Because I can't see, I don't know if it stays in your
It
screen when somebody pops on, but it
It
doesn't on
does. It
mine.
stays for, like, I can still see Myers up there, but it kind of fades away as people come in.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want to do all the talking here because I'll talk your head off, I promise you.
Well, no, you need to do most of the talking. You're the
Yeah, you
leader.
know, that's what people keep telling me. And I finally accept.
No pressure.
Well, you know, the thing is like knowing what your purpose and your passion is. And I don't know about
Hmm.
you, but like throughout my life, people have constantly told me what my purpose and passion was, and I just didn't have the ability to listen at that point. And they
Yeah.
always said stuff like, you're a good leader, you're a good people person, you're well at speaking to other people. And it just went in one ear and out the other. But with the creation of Blended Lines, which this thing has only been around for about a month, maybe a little less. And the way it has
Yeah.
exploded is just mind blowing. And everybody sends me messages like every day, like, Cliff, this is a great place. It's a great family here. It's positive, it's love, and it gives me hope. And when I hear that, which I don't take the credit for that, I give that to God. I just did what I was told. It just makes me feel so good, man, that I have a purpose now.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that one of the reasons it has grown so
Mm.
quickly is because we're experiencing this
Right.
awakening that unfortunately has taken way too long to
Mm.
happen. And I think people are just eager to have the conversations, but they don't know where
Right.
to go. They don't know how to
Right.
start it, or they're too
Right.
nervous to start it because we don't, no one wants to be
Right.
misunderstood,
Right.
right? But I think if we just all, like everybody, if we focus on seeking to understand instead of seeking to be
Mm.
understood,
Yeah.
like if everyone just did that, if everyone started from a place of I am seeking to
Right.
understand, not I'm seeking to be
Right.
understood, we would all be
Right.
unstoppable. But unfortunately, there's way too many people who are just waiting for you to stop
Mm.
talking so they can start
Mm.
talking. And it's like it's super frustrating. Super frustrating.
Yeah, it's I mean, and you that's it. I mean, you hit it on the head. The reason that I created Blended Lines was because after the whole George Floyd murder, I've always been a positive guy and just love people, don't like conflict and stuff like that. And after the George Floyd murder, I was really angry. All right, and through therapy and psychiatry, I know that the worst thing you can do is try to harbor your emotions or hold them in, because emotions are natural. All right, they're supposed to flow. You're supposed to get angry and sad and fight or flight. uh, but
Right.
I felt like I was just angry for too long, and I felt like
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing much help. If anything, I was kind of adding to the division. I mean, I wasn't real crazy with it, but I look at it like if I'm not trying to bring people together, then I'm dividing them in some type of way. And so I
Sure.
created Blended Lines because several white people had reached out to me and was like, Cliff, uh, I want to ask questions. I want to understand, but I'm just so afraid that, black people are gonna, one, be pissed off, two, judge me, three, label me as a racist. And I mean, that went both ways, right? It was mostly from the whites trying to understand. And then, of course, on the black side, you have to show that every white person isn't racist. And there are people genuinely like pissed off like we are. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the key, is education and talking, and we just need to bridge that racial gap. And that's what led to the creation of Blended Lines. And so far, and I wanted to get your opinion, I think it's working in Blended Lines. What are your
Yeah, like I mean obviously we have so far to
mm,
go, but I think just starting a
mm,
conversation is is the
right,
hardest part, I think, for a lot
right,
of people. Um, and I think also, especially for like I'm gonna speak to my white
mm,
friends in this group right now. I think that it is so important to not come from a place of
yeah,
defensiveness and they've termed it white
mm,
fragility, not to be not to jump on the defensive and be like, well, I'm not a racist, I don't do this, I don't do that. That's not
right,
helpful. That's
right,
not helpful. It goes back to the whole listen in order to
right,
understand, don't speak to be
right,
understood. And so I think that it's so important for us to
mm,
educate
right,
ourselves. It is not our, it is not the responsibility of our friends who are people of color to
mm,
educate us. It is not, it is not our right
mm,
to be, to have the permission to ask
mm,
questions, um, because we don't know where our friends have
right,
come from. We don't know what they are experiencing, and to put that burden on them, I think, is very, very selfish. And so I do want to speak like to those in this group, like it is your
mm,
responsibility to do your research. And trust me, there's plenty out there. I have been doing,
Right.
listening, watching, reading, but I've been
Right.
quiet the whole
Right.
time because it wasn't
Right.
time. I have way too much to learn, and I have learned so much, and it has broken my
Mm-hmm.
heart for many reasons. Number one, because it took me so
Mm-hmm.
long, and that's on
Mm-hmm.
me. And that is like, that's totally on me. I've had my head stuck in the sand. I've been so consumed with like my family and making sure everything's working around here. But we're called to be there for each other. And so I feel like that this group is great because it's starting that
Right.
conversation. It's just we have to continue to move that needle forward and to try and work towards
Right.
doing whatever that looks like, whatever
Right.
that means. I obviously don't have all the answers. But I think you have done a great thing by creating the
Mm-hmm.
group and reminding everybody to be
Right.
respectful, to be
Right.
forgiving, to be patient. Oh,
Right.
patience is
Right.
key, I think, and showing lots of
Right.
grace. Um, I think especially to white people because we are going to say some really stupid things. Like I mean it's true. It is true. And we have to be called out. We do. But I just pray that it's in
Right.
love. Like call us out, amen, but call us out in love,
I
because we got to keep it
got to.
respectful, which I think you do a great job of trying to
Well, I'm
foster
not
that.
gonna lie, it takes work, man. I mean, that's why
Oh yeah, it's
it's
not easy.
not easy. And the thing is, like, I don't want to ever come off in the group like I'm trying to be somebody daddy and stuff like that. And we all grown, and I respect and trust that everybody will be respectful. But hey, there are some people that you have to babysit. Let's just keep it real. But
Yeah.
luckily, I've been blessed with a phenomenal admin team who share the vision and they help. Man, they are awesome. Man, they are on it, and so they help with the group. Shout out to Carlos, Ash, Kim, and Amy, my admin team. But I love what you said about whose responsibility is it to educate, because from my black friends, I've heard mixed opinions on that. Like some black people feel like they don't have a problem educating, right? For as long as you need to. But then there were some that was like, look, it's not my responsibility to educate you. And
Yeah.
that's
Right.
fine. I mean, people are different. You know what I'm saying? The goal is to just find that median. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, white people are going to say some stupid things. Black folks are going to say some stupid things. What I'm trying to do on the black side is, because emotions are very high, as you already know. I can
Right.
relate because I'm mixed, but I identify as black. My wife is black. My parents were black, but they were mixed. Uh, and when it comes to the black side, I've experienced racism. When I was small, from first grade to sixth grade, I got called the N word like every other day. Was constantly on the defense. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I have trauma
Yeah.
from the racism that I've experienced, which is one of the reasons why I have a therapist and a psychiatrist. And so emotions are very high in the black community, which is expected. But what
Yeah.
I'm trying to show by example is meeting hate with hate is not going to resolve the issue. You know what I'm saying? Anger and anger
No.
is not going to resolve the issue. If you just approach it in a loving way, providing that the other person is wanting to really understand and help, that's an opportunity. So let's give
That's
the
the key. I think you just hit on the key though, is that we have to find the
right.
people who
There you
want to
go.
help. It's not the people who want, again, to
Right.
be heard and to be
Right.
understood and to defend and
Yeah.
shut that down.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm
Helping or hurting? Are we helping
right.
or
Right. And
hurting?
honestly, in this time period, the people who are not trying to listen, it's gonna be worse, man, because it's like you pick up on it like that, right? I mean, soon as you say something
Mhm.
and you can tell like they're only just trying to give their reply and tempers are already high, you know what I'm saying? People just they just kind of
Yeah.
let off real quick, like, okay, so you one of them people who not trying to hear me. So, and that's why I'm trying my best to keep authentic people in the group, you know, and watching
Mhm.
people. And I do not play with the disrespect, as you already know. Like, I give you one warning, that you
Right.
gone. It means that much to me.
Right.
But I can't tell you how happy from the black perspective, how many white people are like here with us and pissed like us and fighting with us. Look, I don't think white people will never understand how much that means to us because I'm 42 years old and I've never seen that in my life. And it gave me so much hope when I saw white people legitimately pissed, all right, not faking it, but
Mhm.
pissed and fighting for us. And it gave me hope, man. I'm gonna be honest. So I appreciate y'all more than you will ever know, and I know my black counterparts do as well.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it
Hmm.
is. Like I guess maybe it's social
Hmm.
media. With as quickly as we have access to information now, or I don't know. Like, is it the Holy
Hmm.
Spirit that we were finally
Hmm.
sensitive to, and we were like, this is
Hmm.
not cool. Like, this has been going on, and I think so many people were
Yeah.
oblivious to how bad it
Uh,
still is. And I just don't even know what to say
right.
about it other than it has
Right.
to stop.
And that's
It
I
has to
think
stop.
empathy is so important right now because yeah, you're right. There are a lot of people who, as hard as it is for black people to believe this, had no clue that all this stuff was going on, systemic racism and all of that. My neighbor, he's white, and I think he's in his 30s, he and his wife. And when I tell you he was like straight up depressed when I told him about all the stuff that black people have been through. And he told me, he said, Cliff, I had no idea. You know, he didn't know about white
Wow.
flight when, you know, blacks started moving into the community and the white people started moving out. That happened big time in Alabama. He didn't know about that. He didn't know about the systemic racism when it came to like getting houses and loans for blacks were not approved, you know, and
Yeah, and I
he
didn't
was
either.
floored.
Oh, I have been floored
Yeah.
as well with, like I said, with the research that I have
Mm.
done. And like, I'm super happy to post some of the links that have just been so
Yeah.
helpful to just
Right.
enlighten me, because I'm like, I would go to my husband and be like, did you know about this? Did this happen back with, like, these
Yeah.
veterans are
Right.
coming home and they're trying to get these loans for these houses and they're being turned down. And Jason's like, yeah, did you not know about that? I'm like,
Right.
nah, why would I be
Right.
reacting this way if I
Right.
knew about it? And we have to, we like, even though that was
Mm.
decades ago, it's like
Right.
it matters so much, because you can't heal something that you don't know
Exactly.
about. Like, you have to know the
Yeah.
wounds that before they
Right.
can heal.
Right.
And like I said, it's messy and it's uncomfortable sometimes, but it has to
Yeah.
happen in order for change to really come about.
You are absolutely right, man. I 100% agree with you. And another thing that's really been on my heart lately, and I left a Facebook Live last week because when I feel something in my spirit, I try to go out there and just, you know, share it. But I went out there and I was like, look, this is for all my white blended lines family members. Get prepared because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And what I mean by that is I'm hearing constantly how white people are getting trashed by friends, family, other people for simply standing up for what's right and standing up for blacks, especially after the fourth in the group. And I did my mental health check
Mm-hmm.
in, and because people were like with family and friends, and I guess it came up in conversation, and I mean, some people was like they were exhausted from the weekend because they had family and friends that was just hammering them. So it's like the white people are going to get just a smidgen of what blacks have been dealing with, and I'm just trying to get everybody, I guess, ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I know exactly what you're saying. And I I don't know if there's really anything that you can do to prepare except for be prayed
Right,
up,
right,
like covered in the Holy
right.
Spirit, and to lead with, as hard as it is, to lead with
Mm-hmm.
gentleness. And if those conversations like take a toxic
Mm-hmm.
turn, you have to just
Yeah.
stop them. Like, out of respect for you and for me, I have to stop this
Mm-hmm.
conversation because it's not
Right.
going anywhere. Like, we're not having this conversation to try and come to a
Mm-hmm.
solution. You just want to be
Right.
understood. Again, I'm telling you, it all goes back to either seeking to
Mm-hmm.
understand or seeking to be
Mm-hmm.
understood. If you can tell that you are in a conversation with someone who just wants to be
Mm-hmm.
heard,
Well, look, so I'm gonna throw a monkey.
I'm just saying.
You and
I'm
I are on
just saying.
the same page, but I'm gonna throw a monkey in it and ask you something. So obviously you're an extrovert. I'm extrovert to the 10th power, right?
I never meet a
Yeah.
stranger.
So what about,
My husband
yeah,
loves it.
I know. And see, my wife is the complete opposite, right? She's one of those people where she got to know you before she really starts talking. But
Yeah.
so for the introverts in the world, that may be difficult to do, speak up in the
Yeah.
conversation. How do you think they should handle that, in your opinion, of course?
Oh gosh.
It's easy.
Well, speaking as someone
Right,
who is like not an
right,
introvert, I
right.
don't know. Um, but I think, again, I think the most important thing is
Right.
learning, is to learn where people have come
Mm,
from, even if even if certain things didn't happen to that person
mm,
specifically, it has happened to their ancestors, it's happened to their family. It's a systemic
mm,
issue. And so I think that for the introverts, you as hard as it is, you just, if you want to be part of the
mm.
solution, you've got to step outside of your
Mm,
comfort zone, and you have to learn to be
right.
comfortable with being
That's my
uncomfortable.
favorite phrase, man. That is my.
It's like you can apply it to every area of life, whether it's health, fitness, conflict resolution, spiritual growth. Like, growth is
Yeah, it
uncomfortable.
is.
Staying where we
Mm,
are, that's
right,
comfortable. But growing, there's a reason why it's called growing
right.
pains. It's not called growing happiness. Like, it hurts. It's
Growing happiness.
painful, but we're so much better on the other side of it. So for the introverts who are like so afraid, too afraid to speak up, or that, it's just not who they
Mm,
are, suck it
yeah,
up. Like, you just, if you
yeah,
want to help, if you want to be part of the change, educate yourself,
mm.
number one. But number two, you got to step outside of your
I think
comfort
that's a
zone.
great question that everybody should ask themselves is like, are you like 1% in on the change? You know what I'm saying? If you're not 100%
Yeah,
in, don't waste your time or other people's time. But if you're 100%
right.
in, just know you're gonna have to get out your comfort zone, as you stated, and but it'll make you
Yeah.
so much better in the end. And that's so all of the therapy and the that I've had over the past 2 years, I share it in the group. So essentially, the group is getting free therapy, whether they know it or not, right? I paid for mine, but
You can say, "You're welcome,
right,
group."
right. I paid.
You give
Yeah,
and you give.
exactly. And what I want people to understand more than anything is, in order to get better, in order to grow, you have to welcome challenges. You have to. And I was one those people where
Yeah.
anytime something didn't go my way, I would like hit the roof and just like, oh my God, you know. And but after I went through last year, because this time last year was the darkest moment of my life around this time last year. Even though I had everything materialistically, family wise, financially, I had everything. I was the most miserable person on the planet. And when I took that time off, man, I just had time to sit down, discover who Cliff is again, because I had lost my identity. Uh, Once
Yeah.
I found my identity, then the health I focused on, you know, getting strong mentally and physically. When I came out, even though I was going through the challenges, oh man, life is so great. Like the reason I use all caps when I type in the group is because I'm happy. You know, like I'm literally, you know how it is. I can take energy in your
Yeah.
post.
You're
We're so
excited.
excited. I just got to do all caps with like 100 exclamation marks behind it.
I'm the same way. I'm totally
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same way.
And I picked up on that. That's why I was like, when you came back and was like, yo, you know, you sent the gift, which I love, by the way. You was like, I'll do it. I was like, yes. Because I was going to reach out to you anyway, Liz, and be like, look, you got to come on, man, and spread that positive energy. Sure.
We
We
need more
do.
of it.
And I also want to thank you because I know everybody's different, and I'm trying to get more people to again get outside their comfort zone and do these video calls because I understand, you know, like people want to get glammed up and they probably in their pajamas and all that stuff. I personally don't care about that, but that's me. You know, like my wife would never get on this without having her makeup and hair done, fly, you know, and I get it.
Yeah.
But in order for us to truly become a family, which is my vision, I feel like we need to know each other personally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh
And so
yeah.
that's why I want to kind of thing
Absolutely.
if possible.
Yeah, I like it. I'm happy to be
I'm
here. Like this is my
glad
jam.
you're here, man. I really am, and I sincerely mean that. So, one last question for you. Do you know your purpose in life yet?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's not just one
Mm-hmm.
dimensional. Um, I definitely I, I believe that God has given me a ministry on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook with helping people to just work on their health
Mm-hmm.
holistically using like an inside out approach as opposed to an outside
Mm-hmm.
in because it doesn't matter how pretty the outside
Mm-hmm.
package is if the inside is ugly and it's
Mm-hmm.
toxic then we've got an
Right.
issue. So I feel like that is my passion, but also showing the love of
Right.
Jesus. Like
Right.
that's it. Like just showing the love
Right.
of Jesus. And it sounds so
Right.
simplistic, but if you peel back all the layers of how Jesus showed
Mm-hmm.
love, that's like
You
that's
know,
my purpose. Show the love of
it's funny you
Jesus.
say that because that's one thing I've been really racking my brain about. Is like, in my opinion, it's so much easier to love than to hate. Like in my mind, hate, like, okay, hate involves anger. Anger leads to like high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nothing about it is healthy, right? From a mental
Right.
standpoint to a physical standpoint, everything involving anger and hatred is not healthy. But then when you love, you get the endorphins, same endorphins that you get when you work out. You get joy, you feel fulfilled, you feel like you have a purpose and you did something and you helped somebody. To me, it's a no-brainer, but maybe not that simple.
Yeah. Not everybody feels the
Yeah,
same way,
yeah.
unfortunately. I heard an analogy just today when I was on my
Mm,
run that like anger and bitterness and hatred, it's like if you're the one projecting it, it's like you're holding on, you're
mm,
clenching a really hot
mm.
coal, but the only person that it's hurting is you.
Wow.
Like you are the, if you are bitter, if you are angry, if you're full of hate, the only person that it is really hurting is you. and you have to let go of
You need
that.
to post that in the group, man. That is a epic.
It was, I when I heard it, I was like, oh, that is so good. I like
Yeah,
analogies. I like word
me too. I'm
pictures.
a visual person.
Yeah, and so if you think about just a fiery red hot
Mm,
coal, it's not hurting the person that you're showing the hatred
right,
towards. It's only hurting
right,
yourself. And you got to get rid of all of that
right.
toxicity in your life. And something else that I heard is negativity and cynicism are super contagious, but you know what else is super contagious is love and
Right.
kindness.
It all spreads positive.
Even even in the midst of
Right.
hate, if we can show gentleness and if we can show love and just start a love and kindness
Right.
movement, we can move
Sound
mountains.
like you just referenced blended lines. I mean, that is my vision for blended lines in a world right now full of hate, discord, opposition, division. We have our own little pretty bubble of love and unity and respect, and that's why everybody feels so good, man. Because I mean, I don't go on my personal Facebook page. I went out there last week, man, and I immediately jumped back in blended lines because it was just like,
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah. I don't
yeah,
scroll
yeah,
much.
yeah. I'm all about protecting this right here. This mental health is very, very important to me because I know a lot of people suffer through it and they don't have a voice. They're scared to speak out
Mhm.
because they feel like they're going to be judged or labeled. And then it took a person like
Right.
me who doesn't give a flip to be completely authentic, you know what I'm saying, and tell my story. And then it's
Yeah.
going to bless the people over there who are going through the same thing or went through the same thing. That's all I care about. If you want to call me crazy because I have a therapist and a psychiatrist, okay, yeah, I'm crazy then, you know?
I think we should all have
Absolutely,
one.
man. Especially now.
All
Because
the
I'm
time.
going to tell you, man, and I'm praying for the world, but with the healthcare workers and what they going through, the blacks and the years of oppression that we went through, and even the white people for like what's going on now with them getting bashed from white people for standing up for us and how it's going to be in the future. Everybody gonna need some therapy after.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because we're living in a very tumultuous time right
Absolutely,
now with everything that's going
absolutely,
on. And so to keep that all bottled up inside, it's kind of like that hot
right.
coal, you know, we have to let go of it. And so I love that you've created like a safe
Mm,
space to just
right,
talk about some
right,
things,
right.
you know, talk about all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
things.
It's so much better when you try to understand. Because what I always do when I talk to somebody before anything is I put myself in their shoes. And I know that sounds very cliche, but I feel
Hmm.
like that's the only way you're gonna understand is if you just put yourself in their shoe. How would you feel if this happened? I think that's a great first step into a open-minded discussion. You know what I'm
I definitely think so too, because you don't ever know, like, they may be smiling but hurting on the inside because everybody, every single person in the entire world goes
saying? Yeah,
through hurt. Everybody has been
right,
hurt, some worse than
right.
others, but we all have wounds and some of them are
Hmm.
fresh, some of them are scarred
Right,
over, but don't pretend to think that you know what somebody else has
right,
gone through or is currently going through. So I love that's like your first, that's like your go-to. Like, I'm going to try and put myself in this
right,
person's shoes before
right.
anything
Absolutely.
else. Like, I think that's
Yeah, and
fantastic.
I love the hot cold analogy, and it goes hand in hand with another one. Again, this is free therapy. This is what my psychiatrist told me, and it's what I call the beach ball. All right, analogy. So the way emotions work is, you know how you have a beach ball and you're at the pool, and you put the beach
Hmm.
ball on the water, and you go deep with it. when you finally let it go, what happens? It, right? So that's what happens when you harbor your emotions, anger, depression,
Right.
sadness, all of that, and you don't talk about it, you don't share it, and they go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then next thing you know, somebody does something that wasn't even that crazy, and you just lose
The volcano
on them. Yeah,
erupts.
because the beach ball is blown up
Yeah.
through the water. So that's why, and that's
Yeah.
another reason why I created Blended Lines. During this time, people need to be talking about their emotions. If you're angry, okay, let's talk about it. If you're confused, let's talk about it. You know, let's get the feelings out, because that's not going to lead to us becoming one when you got all those harbored feelings.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
I agree.
well, look, I want to
100%.
be respectful of your time. I think we're in what, 30 minutes? Oh, 45 minutes. Wow, it don't even seem like 45 minutes.
I know it seems like we got on like
Oh,
5 minutes ago.
oh, well, look, Liz,
Now entering
I
hour
know, man. I
two.
told you I could talk to you like for hours, man. You have to read people and just be respectful of their time. But I do want to thank you,
Yeah.
Liz, for being in the group. I want to thank you for your energy, the love that you put in the group, and just keep doing it, man. I love what you said in this live, man. And see, every time I talk to somebody, I learn. You know what I'm saying? And I just learn a lot from you,
Hmm.
and then I get that knowledge and I pass it on to somebody else. You know, so thank you for being in the group. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. And you know, if there's anything you need, just holler at your boy. You already know that.
Well, and thanks for taking a chance on somebody that you didn't know what was
Hey,
going to
man,
happen.
hey, I'm gonna do it, because if I don't, at least I can say, hey, I tried or I did it. You know, I don't I missed an opportunity. So, and plus I just
Well, no. Well,
yeah,
this was great. This was great. I loved it. I think it'll be good to just keep doing this with other people because we're all going to learn from each other. And like you said, we're all different. We all bring different strengths to the table. It's just, yeah, well, hey there,
yeah.
cutie.
Say,
Hey, bud.
hey, hey, this is
He's like,
this is the
hey.
shy one. The other one is like me.
But yeah, we all bring something different to the table. So I want to speak to those who are like thinking that they don't have anything to offer. That's not true. We are all
Mhm.
gifted. You just have to do a little, it starts with you. You have to be self
Yes,
introspective. You figure out what your gifts are and then you use
absolutely
them. Don't don't keep them to yourself. Don't
right,
be
man.
selfish. Like
I don't.
cuz it takes a village.
I mean, you're killing it. I have nothing to say after that. You you are spot on, man. I love it. Look, I don't want this to be the last time we talk. All right, I want to do
No.
this again, because you have a wealth of knowledge and wisdom, man, and that's what the world needs.
I don't know about that.
Girl, you better accept that blessing. Quit tripping.
Okay, I accept it. I'll say thank you and I
All
will
right, that's what I
smile.
like to hear
Thank
right there.
you.
All right, Liz, I love you, girl. Keep working out. Keep that mental health and mental and physical health. Be strong, girl. I love it, and keep shining.
All right.
Have a good.
Shine
All right,
bright.
bye.
Bye.